So in this video we will be discussing the LAN security concepts. So the module 10 of SRWE course. So this 4 modules here is just a review because it is included in our bridging course. So LAN security concepts, okay, it's all about security. So the title is this. So the objective of this module is explain how vulnerabilities compromise LAN security. So there are several topics that includes endpoint security. So we need to explain how to use endpoint security to mitigate attacks. The access control. So we need to explain the AAA, or the authentication, authorization, and counting. And 802.1x are used to authenticate LAN endpoints and devices. So also we need to discuss the layer 2 security threats. So we need to identify the layer 2 vulnerabilities. So also the MAC address table attack. So I need to explain that. And then the LAN attacks. Okay. So first one is the endpoint security. So network attacks today. So this involves the DDoS, or distributed denial of service. So it is a coordinated attack from many devices called zombies, with the intention of degrading or halting public access to an organization's websites and resources. We also have an attack called data breach. So it is an attack in which an organization's data servers or hosts are compromised to steal confidential information. So that is the data breach. We also have the malware. So it is an attack in which an organization's hosts are infected with malicious software, so that causes a variety of problems. So as for example, we have here the ransomware. So encrypts the data on a host and locks access to it until a ransom is paid. So money is involved in this ransomware. We also have different network security devices. So in this module we have 3. So those are the VPN enabled router, so a next generation firewall or NGFW, and NAC devices or network access control. So first is the VPN enabled router. So it provides a secure connection to remote users across a public network and into enterprise network. So it can also be integrated into the firewall. So next one is the NGFW or next generation firewall. Provides stateful packet inspection, so application visibility and control, and NGIPS or next generation intrusion prevention system. So also includes the advanced malware protection and URL filtering. So it's all about the inspection and filtering. And the last is the NAC. So it's a NAC device. So it includes the AAA services, so the authentication, authorization, and accounting. So we have the example for NAC device, which is the Cisco Identity Services Engine. Okay, so endpoint protection. Just said that most of these devices are susceptible to the LAN related attacks that are covered. Okay, so I have the switches, WLC routers, LAN controllers, and access points. So they are vulnerable to LAN-related attacks. Okay. So this is Cisco Email Security Appliance. It is a So this device is Cisco ESA. So it's a device that designated to monitor SMTP. So it's for emails. Okay. So we have here the some functions of the Cisco ESA. So 5 functions. So we have here the block known threats. So remediate against stealth malware that evaded initial detection. So also discards emails with bad links. Also blocks access to newly infected sites. Also encrypt content in outgoing email to prevent data loss. Okay, as you can see here, we have here the threat actor. So it's a phishing attack on important host on the network. Then the firewalls receive it and forwards all email to the ESA, or the email security appliance. Then the S analyzes the email, logs it, and if it's malware, discards it. So in this figure, the Cisco SI discards the email with bad links. Now we have the Cisco Web Security Appliance. So the Cisco SI monitors the SMTP. So while the Cisco Web Security Appliance, so it's for the HTTP. So in this example, the user attempts to connect to a website. So firewall forwards again the website request to the WSA. So web security appliance. And then so it evaluates the URL and determines it is a known blacklisted site. The WSA discards packet and sends an access denied message to the user. Okay. Okay. The web security appliance performs blacklistings of URLs. It's also filtering the URL and then malware scanning, URL categorization, web application filtering, and encryption and decryption of web traffic. Okay, check your understanding and security. So each attack encrypts the data on hosts in an attempt to extract monetary payment from the victim. So we have here the ransomware because the money is involved. Which devices are specifically designed for network security? So the dependent router, next generation firewall, and the NAC device. Okay, which device monitors SMTP traffic to block threats and encrypt outgoing messages to prevent data loss? So we have the ESA. It's for the email traffics. Then monitors HTTP to block access to risky sites and outgoing. So we have here the WSA or Web Security Appliance. Next is the access control. Okay, we have here the authentication with local password. It's just a securing the VTY lines. Then the SSH. Okay. Okay, the local database method. Okay, the local database method is the accounts or the username or password is recorded on the router or local device. But in AA components, we use server to record the okay, the router is the databases for username passwords. So in a local database password. Now for the AA components, so we use the server for we use the server as a database for information on the user. So AA components, so it stands for authentication, authorization, accounting. So this concept is similar to a credit card. Okay, so identifies who can use it, so how much the user can spend, keeps an account of items and services the user purchased. Okay, so you can see we have here the authentication, so who are you? Okay, authorization, the credit limit, and accounting. Okay, so provides the AAA provides the primary framework to set up access control on network devices. So AAA is a way to control who is permitted to access a network. So it's just they authenticate. So what they can do while they are there, so they have the authorized. Then to audit what actions they perform while accessing the network. So we have here the accounting. So these are the broad explanation for AA. So first one, we have the authentication. So local and server based are two common methods of implementing AA authentication. So local AA authentication, we use the Cisco router as a database for username passwords. And then the server based, we use the server for accessing the username passwords. The server is the database. Okay. So in this local AA authentication, so as you can see, the client establishes a connection with the router. Then the router prompts the user for username and password. Then the router authenticates the username and password using So it's also provided access to the network based on the information in the local database. Okay. Server based. So we have here the server. So establish a connection, user and password, and then so the router authenticates the username and password based on the server. Then the user provided access to the network based on the information in the remote AAA server. So the server also holds the information, so what the user can access through the network. We also have the authorization. So this just describes the user access to the network. Okay, so when the user has been authenticated, the session is established between the router and a server. So this is after the authentication. So the router requests authorization from the AA server for the client's requested service. So it just returns pass-fail response for authorization. So the server dictates what the remote clients will access. So accounting just collects and reports user usage data. Okay. So the user has been authenticated. So AA accounting process generates a start message to begin the accounting process. So when the user finishes, stop message is recorded and the accounting process ends. So just records the usage data, the whole communication. We also have the 8021X. So this is just a protocol for authentication. So whenever for this authentication protocol. So here we have here the supplicant, authenticator, authentication. Okay. So the supplicant requires access in response to requests from a switch. The authenticator is just in between, so controls physical access to the network based on client's authentication status. Then the authentication is the server, so it performs client authentication. So check your understanding. Access control, so which is responsible for collecting reports. So we have the accounting, responsible for controlling who is permitted the authentication. Responsible for determining what the user can access. We have the authorization. So which device is responsible for relaying responses? So we have the authenticator. Okay. Not feeling well. So layer 2 security threats, layer 2 vulnerabilities. Okay. So the layer 2 link is considered as the weakest link. So in the OSI model, we have here the link 3 to 7. So it is secured with different protocols or security. So when so layer 2 is the weakest link. So we don't have. So it is vulnerable. So if it is compromised, so all the layers above it will be affected also. Which attack categories? We have the layer 2 attacks. So we have the MAC table attacks, the attacks, Cdp attacks, Arp attacks, spoofing attacks, and Stp attacks. So we will be discussed that later on. So I think on this part. Okay. So we also have the switch attack mitigation techniques. So port security, DHCP snooping, dynamic ARP inspection or DI, and IPSG or IP source code. So we'll also discuss that later on. Okay, which is the following mitigation ways to protect layer 3 through layer 7. So after the VPN, firewalls, and IPS or intrusion prevention system devices. So following mitigation techniques prevents many types of attacks, including MAC address table overflow and DHCP starvation attacks. We have the port security. Okay. Oh, okay. So which we will be discussing this later. So which of the following mitigation techniques prevents MAC address, IP address spoofing? So we have IP source guard. So following mitigation prevents ARP and spoofing. Okay, we have dynamic ARP inspection. Prevents. So we have these stepping. Okay. So switch operation review. Okay. So recall that to make forwarding decisions, a layer 2 LAN switch builds a table based on the source MAC address and the receive frames. Shown in the figure, this is called the MAC address table. So MAC address table are stored in memory and are used to more efficient forward frames. So MAC address table flooding. So the MAC address table flood. So switch can run out of sources in which to store MAC addresses. Okay, MAC address flooding attacks take advantage of this limitation by bombarding the switch with fake source MAC addresses. So until the switch MAC address table is full. Okay. So when this occurs, the switch treats the frame as an unknown unicast and begins to flood all incoming traffic out of all ports in the same VLAN without referencing the MAC table. Okay. So the MAC address table flooding attacks, so it bombards, the threat actor bombards fake addresses. So when it falls, so all the incoming frames will be flooded out of its port. So it also so the figure shows how this threat actor can use this network tool MAC off to overflow the MAC address table. So then they use the MAC off to bombard the switch with different MAC addresses. Okay, when the switch pulls, so it floods all the frames that it receives. Okay. Then the threat actor then uses path sniffing to capture frames from any and all devices connected to the VLAN. Okay, so MAC address table attack mitigation. So to mitigate this MAC address attack, so these are the sample of command of MAC off. Okay. So we just need to enable the port security on the switch. So port security will be discussed later on. Oh no. Okay. So module 11 is full of, I think, path tracers. So we already done that on the bridging course. Okay. So what is the behavior of switch as a result of successful? Just wait. Just delete some tweets. Take me to your heart, take me to your soul. Give me your hand, behold, before. Okay. So what is the behavioral switch as a result of successful MAC address table attack? So all the frames will be forwarded to all ports in the VLAN. So what would be the primary reason a threat actor would launch a MAC address overflow attack? Okay, so it's always this reason. So what mitigation is implemented? So we have the port security. Okay. LAN attacks, I think this is the last quite long. So the LAN attacks. So this video, so all the information here is on this, is below here. So not be able to, not watching that. So VLAN hopping attacks. So VLAN hopping attacks enable traffic from one VLAN to be seen by another VLAN without the aid of the router. Okay, in a basic VLAN hopping attack, the threat actor configures a host to act like a switch to take advantage of automatic trunking port feature enabled by default on most switch ports. Okay. So for example, we have here the threat actor. So it is not on the same VLAN with this target, but he can, I think, send a message or receive traffic from the VLAN which is not the same as his. So I think that is authorized route. So the host or the device of the threat actor, so configure it that will act as a switch. I think this will act as a trunk port, so it can receive any VLANs, any traffic from any VLANs. Okay. Now for VLAN double tagging attack, so the threat actor embeds so another tag inside the frame that already has an H02.1Q tag. So this is the protocol for VLANs. Okay. Take the steps and explanation for double tagging attack. So the threat actor here inserts VLAN, so another VLAN. I think the VLAN for the threat actor is the VLAN 10. So the threat actor belongs to this VLAN 10, and then he just inserts this VLAN 20. So the target host of the threat actor is on VLAN 20. Okay. So because the native VLAN is 10, so it will strip or drop the frame, I think. So strip the frame, we'll go to the switch. So but it will see that the VLAN ID is 20, so it does not know. Okay. Then the data will be on the VLAN 20, under target. Okay. So the idea is that double tagging allows the attacker to send data to hosts or servers on a VLAN that otherwise would be blocked by some type of access control configuration. So VLAN double tagging attack, so we'll just send a traffic from another VLAN, okay, without the aid of a router, I think. Oh, it's still okay. Still. No, with the aid of router. Okay, can be. So VLAN attack mitigation, we have we need to disable trunking on all access ports. Why do we? Okay, so disable auto trunking on trunk links, so that trunks is being manually enabled, so we don't need to have a mode of desirable, dynamic desirable. So be sure that the native VLAN is only used for trunk links. Okay. DHCP message. Okay. So this is just a review. This is the process of obtaining an IP address through DHCP. So we also have DHCP attacks. So two types of DHCP attacks are DHCP starvation attack and DHCP spoofing attack. So the goal of DHCP starvation attack is to create a DOS for connecting clients. So it requires an attack tool as a gobbler. So ability to look at the entire scope of traceable IP address and tries to list them all. Specifically, it creates DHCP's discovery message with bogus MAC addresses. Just think this is the threat actor will copy all the available IP address on the server. Okay. So I have here the DHCP spoofing attacks. Okay, so it provides full IP configuration parameters to legitimate clients. So here they run default gateway, run the server, and wrong IP address. Okay, we have here the steps. So threat actor connects from the DHCP server. Okay. So it acts like a DHCP server. So clients broadcast DHCP discover message. So the client requests for a DHCP IP or IP address. So the legitimate rogue DHCP reply. So the two servers here will reply, the legitimate one and the threat actor. Then client accepts the rogue DHCP offer. So in this example, the client first accept the offer of the threat actor, and then the rogue server unit has a reply to the client to acknowledge its request. The legitimate server will cease communicating with the client. So, okay. Also have another video, but all the information here is also stated below. So Arp attacks, you have here the address resolution protocol. So it's just a review. Wait. So also host broadcasts ARP request to determine MAC address of a host with particular ARP address. Okay, so ARP is just for ARP table. So we have here the IP address map, the MAC address map to its IP address. So commonly we have here the IP address, but we don't have the MAC address. So we need to broadcast the address for us to know the MAC address of a device based on the IP address provided in the ARP table. So a client is allowed to send an unsolicited ARP reply called a gratuitous ARP. Okay. So even if it's not the host containing the MAC address, so the client is allowed to send an ARP reply. Okay, the problem is that an attacker can send ARP message containing spoof MAC address to switch, so the switch would update its MAC table accordingly. Okay, so the attacker can also send MAC address or fake MAC address, and then the switch will update its MAC table. I'll just so here the explanation of ARP spoofing and ARP poisoning. So here the normal ARP cache for devices, the ARP spoofing attack. So it informs that the MAC address of the router is the MAC address of the threat actor. Then the MAC address of the PC1 here is the MAC address of the threat actor. So it results to poisoning attack. So the MAC address table is poisoned. Okay. So the threat actors now act like a man in the middle attack. Okay. So the address spoofing attack, so just spoofing of IP address and MAC addresses. So for the IP address spoofing, so a threat actor hijacks a valid IP address of another device in the subnet. So while the MAC address spoofing attack, so it matches the another known MAC address of the target host. So for example here, so the threat actor here matches the MAC address of the PC1. So now all the packets that destined for the PC1 will now go to PC2. So because the PC2 sends the message for the switch, so my MAC address is BBB. So the switch will update its MAC address table and then set the MAC address of the threat actor into the port of this one port. Okay. We also have the Stp attack force spanning tree protocol. Okay, so in this example here, the threat actor will just send BPDU, so that just BPDU message that says that sends very low priority. So So low priority means he will be elected as a root bridge. Okay. So now, after sending BPDU message with a low priority, so now the threat actor will access the root bridge, and then as a result will accept or seize all the frames destined, frames that goes with to the root bridge. Okay. We also have the Cdp Reconnaissance. So okay, this is used for as it is enabled on all Cisco devices by default. So it can automatically discover other Cdp enabled devices and help auto-configure their connection. It can also be used to help configure and troubleshoot network devices. So Cdp information is sent out. Cdp enabled ports in periodic unencrypted broadcast. So Cdp information includes the IP address of the device, iOS software version, platform capabilities, and utility. Okay. So it is extremely useful in network troubleshooting. So, however, all the information may be seen by the threat actors. Okay. So to disable Cdp, we use the no Cdp run. To enable again, we use the Cdp run. Globally, okay. So Cdp global device is this. On the port we use node Cdp enable. Okay. Also have the LLDP. Okay. Also have the command set no LLDP run. Okay. So check your understanding LAN attacks. So threat actor changes the MAC address of the default gateway. So we have here the address spoofing. Okay. So it changes the MAC addresses. So it copies the MAC addresses of someone's device. So as shown in a while ago, we have the address spoofing, MAC address spoofing. So threat actor sends BPDU message with a priority 0. So we have here the Stp attack. So the BPDU is related to Stp. So it's an Stp attack. So threat actor leases all the available IP addresses in the subnet. So leases, it most likely it copies the IP addresses. Copies. There'll be the HCP starvation. Threat actor sends a message that causes all other devices to be device. Okay, we have the Arp Spoofing. I think. So man in the middle attack. So Arp Spoofing. Figures a host. So forms a trap with a connected switch. Okay, you have here the VLAN hopping. Discovers the iOS version, IP address of local switch. We have the Cdp Reconnaissance. Okay. So module practice and quiz. So in this module we have learned the malware related attacks through email and web browsing. So the DOS data breaches and malware. We also discussed the ESA and WSA. So ESA, so it monitors the SMTP traffic. The WSA is HTTP traffic. So also the AAA, so authenticate, authentication, authorization, and accounting. Okay. We also discussed the attacks on layer 2 and the ways to mitigate it. So they have the MAC address flooding attacks, the VLAN hopping attack, the VLAN double tagging attack, VLAN hopping. So it can be prevented by these steps or guidelines. We also have the DHCP attack, the Arp attack, and address spoofing attack, Stp attack, and Cdp Reconnaissance. So for the module quiz, LAN security concepts, which layer 2 attacks will result in legitimate users not getting valid IP addresses. We have here the DHCP starvation. Okay. So what mitigation plan is best for thwarting a DOS attack that is creating a MAC address table of overflow? Okay, enable port security. Okay, so port security is one way to mitigate the MAC address table attack. Okay. So which chooses Copados focus on endpoint security solutions. We have here the WSA, ESA, and NAC device. Okay. True or false? The client attempted to access the intrusion. Supplicant, yes. Authentication with AAA, so with server. So it provides a fallback authentication method if the administrator forgets the username or password. Okay, now is what is involved in IP address spoofing attack. So we have hijack. Okay. So we have here the IP address spoofing. Okay. So in the server base, which this will allow the successfully communicate with you. We have the radius TACAX. The TACAX is the legacy. So what read services are provided by the AA framework? So it's too easy. Accounting, authorization, authentication. Okay. So what two protocols are supported on Cisco devices for AA communications? So here the radius and TACAX, okay, for communication with servers. So which service is enabled on the Cisco router by default that can reveal significant information about the router? So we have here the Cdp. Okay. So what is the purpose of AA accounting? So it's to collect and report application usage. So when security is concerned, which OS layer is considered to be the weakest link in your system? So we have the layer 2. Okay, which layer 2 attack will result in flooding and conference to all ports. We have the MAC address table flooding, which of implemented security controls the user can only access the server with FTP. Okay, we have the authorization. Okay, user can only access. So the server and services that only user can access. So it's authorization to prevent packages and spoofing attack. So we have MAC and IP address spoofing attacks with dynamic Arp inspection. Okay. Oops. Okay, the IP source guard. So dynamic Arp inspection is for Arp attacks, sorry. Okay. So the second module is more on configuration. So I think we have, oh no, we just have 2 packet tracers here. So this packet tracer I think is implementation of all configuration, the configuration of all for all of this. Okay, so I think that's it.